exercises that you need to be able to do to be able to pass your gold. And you need already to have passed your bronze, silver, and have an ID tag. Now, what we're showing is returning to handler. And at the gold level of the award, we want them to come back to us and carry on walking. So really, if we were in the park and we needed to get to a narrow place, and we want them to walk with us, but we don't really want to put them back on the lead, we call them into heel and then carry on walking. So they're just walking with us, nicely under control, and that's two different sets of dogs that have shown us that exercise. So we're carrying on with walking with our dogs off the lead, and we're going to move on to an exercise that could save your dog's life and stop them interfering with other dogs in a minute. But we're doing some more return to handler with other dogs around and other distractions. I think there's plenty of distractions at Crufts. So they're staying with their owners. Having gone through all the levels of the award, we're quite focused into our dogs. So even when there's other dogs coming at the same time, and we'll have played with our dogs, got them focused on us, and we can get them back at any place, time, any area, anything that's going on. And if you're not in a place of danger, you might want them just on the lead. Now, if you're walking your dogs in the park and somebody walks past or rides past on a bike, you see them coming, kids with dogs, kids with motorbikes, you want to be able to stop your dog from getting injured. So these ones are stopping them interfering with other things, stopping them getting hurt by the push bike, stopping them running into somebody with a pram. If they're running full pelt after a toy or back towards you, you can stop them. Now the stop the dog exercise, they can be stopped in any position, in the sit, stand or down, as long as they stop when they're told. So they say they know this exercise now, and they're stopped in the position, whatever position is necessary, and this can move on to being able to save a dog's life. We teach this through the Good Citizen Dog Scheme. We start at the very beginning, teaching them to go down immediately, they're told, by doing it on the lead, encourage them into a down with toys and with everything else. But then it might be that they were running towards a road, there was a car coming, and they stopped on the spot there, and it could save your dog's life. So you teach it both coming towards and going away. One of the things that your dog should have in your house is a bed. And this is one of the exercises in the gold. And we now need audience participation because we're going to do it as a fun race. So the people on that side are going to cheer for the Rottweiler. The people on this side are going to cheer for the German Shepherd. And we're going to run this as a race. So I want some loud cheering. And on my command, handlers, ready, steady, send it on to bed. Are you cheering? Who's first? Who's going to lay on their bed? Oh, we're on that side. So Mia is through to the next round. Now we have the Labrador race, the black Labrador against the yellow. Are we ready? Steady, send it off to bed. was Sue, Paul, Reg and Jane. So we've still got some to go with their demonstration. So our handlers are going to continue with the rest of the exercises for the silver. To be able to take, gold. To be able to take their gold award, they must have an ID tag and a poo bag. And that's not even part of the test. They've got to have that before they even start, as well as having passed the bronze and silver. Some of the 10 exercises actually test the handlers as well. And we're looking at a situation here where we teach relaxed isolation. You need to be able to have your dog inspected by a stranger, and most vets love having good citizen dogs come to their surgery because they do absolutely brilliantly. They're used to being checked over. The dogs are happy to sit in the veterinary surgery and not eat the dog next to them or try and get all over into other people's bags. You just see, so the dogs need to be examined by a stranger, such as a vet. They need to be able to look in their ears, and the owner needs to be able to control their dog and put them in the position that the vet needs to do. So if they need to look at their paw, or check in their mouth at their gums, and this dog is standing quite happily while the vet here is checking all over him. He's actually liking it. I think he likes the fuss. It's a wonder he's not on his back with his legs in the air. Okay, so we'll just check with the handler if she knows what she's checking for when you look through the dog's coat and when you check them over. Yep, that's definitely one of the things you might be checking. So we've got some people sitting happily in the vet's surgery. The dogs know that they've got to just relax. With a small dog, they're probably going to be asked to put it onto a table at the vet's. So we get them used to this sort of thing. We train them all the way through. And we've got the little bouchon, got your fingers, checking the air and everything. So you can check in the dog's ears. And at the back here, we've got a dog that's been left in relaxed isolation. Imagine that's your living room. The dog's happily waiting at the back, just left. The owner went out for something. The dog has been taught that mum will come back. I'm happy, I can stay here. I can just be left in a position where I'm comfortable. I've got my water, I've got my bed. Oh, she's been out, she's been shopping around Crufts. I don't know, expecting us to dog sit your dog. But the dog is very happy. Mum comes home, dog gets up, says, "What have you bought me?" And has a wonderful time because mum's home. Food manners. We have to feed our dogs always, and we may need to take away inappropriate food from our dog, but we also want them to leave the food, not knock it out of our hands. So we're going to ask the handlers to put some food into their bowls. And we've got young Smokey in the middle, who has a nice big recreational bone, and left with the bone sitting, and all the dogs are going to walk round their bowls. Without taking any of it, because they've been told to leave it. To walk in and out past everybody else's bowl, which is always more difficult because they're not eating their food. So they've been told to leave the food. They're not being dragged past. Smokey. She's given up the bone quite happily, and we're doing the exercise this time without leads on. So they've got food in their bowls again. And off you go, handlers, round your bowls. And this time all the dogs are off the lead, so we can tell they're not being dragged past the food. They're not going to interfere with anybody else's dogs. They're leaving the food alone, all the way round, back to their own dogs. And I'm not sure that my old dog would ever have got this far. Do you think your dogs could achieve this? Knowing that when they get back to their own bowl, they will get their food. So if all the handlers are back to their own bowls, and tell your dogs to eat. And Smokey in the middle is having a right meal and really enjoying her bone. It's a big recreational bone. You shouldn't ever give your dog very small cooked bones, but something that size, certainly safe, and the dog has learnt to give up the bone. And we've got 10 fingers still, yep, there's no aggression there. It might be something that you really don't want your dog to eat, that you need to be able to take away. So you teach them nicely and happily that when they give things up, they get rewarded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please use your imagination to think of this as now the Crufts ring has now turned into the local park. And we've got a sign in the park that's a rule that says that the dogs can be off lead, but only if they're kept under control. Oh my God, we've got the family from down the road throwing all their litter in the park. This is the sort of thing sometimes we may come across. It may be worse than this, paper, and all of these exercises that we've shown you fairly formally are now put together in a real life situation. So we've got people out and about with their families playing ball. We've got the park keeper getting very upset that this family stuffed food all over the place. But because the handlers can get their dogs into heel, they can walk them past it. As part of the gold, dogs need to be able to do a 2-minute stay with the handlers out of sight for 30 seconds. This is a progression up from the 5 seconds that they did at puppy. Now that does need to be a downstay for this. And however, we've had an incident here. However, we've got a good citizen handler here, and he carries a means of clearing up. You always need to carry a means of clearing up after your dog. I'd suggest you don't use bags from the local supermarket because they have holes in them. But make sure that you clear up and dispose of it in an appropriate place. In the meantime, our dogs have demonstrated that they could do our 2-minute stays, and our handlers have returned. So all the exercises are built up to make sure that you can take your dog to a public place and not cause a nuisance to anybody, not cause any problems, come home with your dog without having to chase them for an hour. We also need to be able to walk our dogs on the lead and off the lead for this exercise. You have to be tested that you've walked your dog along a public street where there's traffic. You have to cross the road appropriately. And you have to be able to control your dog in these sorts of situations. Now then, been asked to do an assessment for Dog Watch, who feel that there are a lot of irresponsible owners out there that don't care what their dogs do, that don't care and don't know anything about their dogs. So with this survey, we're going to check with some of these attached to his collar.
Okay. With my name and my address.
Good Lord, he does know. Yep, by law, identity tag with name and address. Let's see if we can catch somebody else out. I bet your dog's got worms. If you thought your dog had worms, in fact, what do you do about worms from your dog?
He has preventative treatment on a regular basis, but if he does have worms, you need to identify what worm it is and go to the vet and have it cleared up.
You're not going to leave poo with worms in all over the place. Do you know, I think these people knew what they were doing. And now we're moving in to our final, our closing sequence. So please give a round of applause for the gold team, cat handlers who come here today and practiced to do this routine for you.
Okay, thank you very much, the gold display team. Don't go away, folks, because now we are going to do an all-level stay exercise, a downstage, and finish the day's work off. So what I'm going to ask is all the teams to come into the hall, puppies, bronze, silvers and the golds. Find some space around the hall. Come on, don't be shy, come in with your dogs. Now I'd like all the commentators to come in and help, and all the team leaders. And with the golds, we're expecting to stay nicely in their position. With the puppies, we are looking just nice and settled in this environment. It's been a very long day for all the dogs and the teams. Working extremely hard. Again, in this sort of environment, we're going to do a stay exercise for 1 minute. So if we've got any more handlers and dogs coming in, no? Okay. So we have all the comms team in. So the comms team in just to help out, just to make sure everything's going to be okay. Absolutely fine. Okay. Are all you all ready, handlers? The puppies, you can stay next team which won't be joining us tomorrow, and Gaynor, Coles and George, and Spencer Man and Bobby. So we'd like to say thank you very much for giving up your time and joining us at Crufts. The minute seems like a lifetime. As you can see, all the breeds that came and joined us to do their displays today, all the different ages. I'm going to ask all the handlers to go back to their dogs, please. When I ask you to end of exercise, can you just watch your dog?